there are some things that just simply must be done in your life in order for you to be able to move on to the next stage of your life. Now, I can't tell you what those things are for you, because you and me and everybody else, we are a different life path unfolding. So the things that I've had to do in order to be able to graduate, so to speak, and allow the next chapter of my life to start, what I can tell you about them is that there are these themes that are constantly playing out in each of our lives. And if you can notice those themes, which you can, all you have to do is really pay attention and listen to your life, and it helps to even look back over your history and see that there are these certain cycles that reoccurring happen over and over and over again in your life. Have you noticed this? Now, until you receive the lesson, until you receive the expansion that your soul is putting you through these experiences over and over and over again for, until you receive the benefit of that lesson, until you realize that there are certain things in your life that may feel like they're happening to you, but really they're happening for your growth, for the expansion of your spirit, of who you came here to be in this life. Well, here's the thing. They're just going to keep happening over and over again. And what happens is it's like us saying to the universe, it's like saying to life that we're not ready for all this incredible next stages of our life. Now, the reason that we're here sharing this moment together, I would argue it has to be the fact that you are ready to graduate a lesson that may have been playing out in your life over and over again, a cycle, and an unconscious karmic cycle that just continues to play out. Now, the moment you bring consciousness into it, it goes from being an unconscious cycle that is the boss of you to you being a being who gains incredible wisdom from it. And again, until you do, it's literally like you saying to the universe, I'm not ready for the next chapter of my life. Now, you need to know this, that the next chapter of your life is absolutely incredible. Like, absolutely phenomenal. You can't even begin to imagine it. Now, I spent a lot of time personally in my life doing a lot of imagining what I want to happen next and visualizing and kind of fantasizing about all the incredible things that could possibly be ahead of me. But what I've learned in my life, and there's no shame in enjoying the visualization process, but what I've come to learn, and I wonder if you've noticed this at all as well, is that what ends up actually happening in my life tends to play out a little bit differently than I visualize or imagine or plan for it to. But the way that it does happen is always much more intelligent and much more necessary for who I am in that moment. Because if things happened the way that I thought they were supposed to be in my human mind, then I would have missed out on pretty much all the most incredible things that have ever happened in my life. I can't explain it. I just know that there is an incredible chapter of your life ready to unfold, ready to begin. But in order to allow it to start, you really do have to hear the message of the previous cycles of energy that have been reoccurring over and over in your life. It's just that simple. Until you get the message, life isn't going to give you the next message. It just doesn't work that way. If you are here, then you are an extremely intelligent, special being who is really here to awaken and take their life to the next stage. Nobody is going to see this video, and maybe a lot of people will, but only the people who are really ready for it, who are really the people I'm speaking to today, those are the ones who are going to click it. Those are the ones who are going to even have made it to this point in the video to hear the truth that your higher self, God, source, your soul, spirit, is extremely intelligent. See, your higher self knows exactly what is best for you. Exactly. And when we live our life based on what we think is best for us, instead of surrendering to the flow of life itself, instead of surrendering to God or to the higher self, whatever you want to call it, instead of surrendering to that, we constantly push against life and are constantly, for a lot of us, angrily, frustratedly, trying so hard to manifest something different to happen in our lives. But the joke is that something different can't happen in your life until you receive what it is that is currently happening. Because what is currently happening has been specifically chosen specially for you by your higher self. You do not experience anything in this world that is not specifically being chosen for you by infinite intelligence, by God. It just is not how it works. So the very fact that you're here listening to this conversation, the very fact that you feel resonance with it, that you're even able to be here, it says everything. The moment you acknowledge what it is that's been playing out over and over and over again in your life, the moment you acknowledge it and you receive the benefit of it, instead of complaining that you don't want it to happen, instead of saying, hey, I don't want this relationship issue, hey, I don't want this financial issue, hey, I don't want this health thing I've been going through, hey, I get it. It's very easy on the human level to say we don't want these things. But the very fact that they are happening means that you actually do want it to be happening. But from the level of want is from the level of God, from source, from your soul, from your higher self. That's where that want is coming from. See, everything that is in alignment with who you really are, who you came here to be, is in your life right now in this very moment. And when you open your ears and you open your heart and you open your eyes, and instead of saying, I don't want this to happen and I'm going to focus all my manifestation power on trying to make this happen, see, instead of doing that, you could just choose to be present in this moment and receive what it is that is happening. Take it in. Accept that you are going through these things in your life. Accept the place you are, the way you are, the people that are there with you, the things that might be going on, good and bad. Because realize that on a higher level, there is not good or bad. Life isn't happening to you. Nothing in life is happening to you. It really is all happening for you. The only question is, are you ready to receive that? Are you ready to, instead of rejecting what it is that's going on in your life, are you ready to welcome it with open arms, to fully allow yourself to have this experience? Because if you don't allow yourself to have this experience, if you continue to reject it, then this experience is going to have to manifest over and over and over again in many different ways to try to get your attention. You see, so it really is in your best interest to receive what it is that's happening. That's how you graduate the lesson. That's how you move on. That's how you allow a new chapter in your life to begin. That's how you do it. It's really easy, the secret to life. We make it out to be pretty complicated in our heads, but the secret is a very easy solution. Don't reject anything. Welcome all of it. Negative experiences and positive experiences. Stop discriminating. Understand that if somebody's standing in front of you talking to you, or if this video is in front of you talking to you, to reject it is to basically say to the universe, hey, I didn't get the message, so why don't you go ahead and repeatedly show up and give it to me over and over and over again? That's why we get stuck in these unconscious cycles. And if you don't realize it in this life, if you continue to reject things, then you create this karmic imprint on your soul where all your future lives, this same thing is going to happen over and over and over again. See, it really is in your best interest to receive what it is that's happening. Because whoever you are, wherever you are, and however you are is absolutely in the best interest of that which you actually are. See, you might be going through something that's hard on the human level. And I understand that on the human level, you might think that there's no way that this is good for me, Nathan, because this is a struggle I'm going through, right? Like, why would I choose this? Well, understand that this human life, this human person you're playing, they only live for a pretty short period of time in comparison to the infinite eternal self and soul that you actually are. See, sometimes I log into a video game and I intentionally play through a hard level. Because that hard level, it might be hard for the character, but to me, the player, who I really am holding the controller, it's very fulfilling to pass those challenges. There's something very fulfilling and satisfying about it. There's an accomplishment to who I really am. You see, it's the same way. This human life, it's kind of like a game. It's kind of like just a character you're playing through certain levels. And the player that you actually are, understand this, if they didn't want to be here experiencing this, if who you really are didn't want to be experiencing exactly what you're experiencing right now, then they'd just quit the level. They'd turn on a different game. They'd instantly manifest themselves somewhere else because that's who you really are. You have that capability. So the very fact that you exist in the way that you do, to me, it's amazing. Out of all the places in the universe you could be, out of all the people you could be, all the ways you could look like, all the relationship experiences you could have had, it's just so incredible to me that here you are in the exact way that you are. You see, all that is infinite intelligence, God, source, your higher self, your spirit, we're talking about the same thing. This is, when I say these things, I really do mean the same thing for each one. The true essence, your authentic self. All that is wants nothing more than to be you right now, going through exactly what you're going through. So just play the level, play the game. Stop sitting here complaining. You ever see somebody playing a game, like a kid playing a video game, and they're playing a level over and over again, and they're screaming and throwing their keyboard, and they're like, oh, F this, F that. I'm not telling you you should rage quit. There is no spiritual benefit to that. People who rage quit life, if you catch my drift, create a fracture in their soul. It's very damaging to the spirit. There is never a good reason to remove yourself from the game. We must become vigilant in this present moment and listen, because no matter how hard things get, you always have everything you need right now in this moment to receive the benefit of the level that you are on. And I think that you know inherently in your authentic self, in the core of who you are, because this connection is present in you. It can never be severed. You are connected to Source. No one who is alive is not connected to Source. No one who is dead is not connected to Source. It is a connection that cannot ever be broken or severed. So I know that you know what is the lesson that is trying to be given to you right now in your life. I know that it's as easy as joyfully playing through it. Dance through the challenges, enjoy them. Your spirit wouldn't have manifested you here in this way to go through it if it wasn't on purpose. So just play the game. Play the game, enjoy it. Enjoy the ride, live it to the fullest that you can. And when you do this, you open yourself up to new chapters beginning in your life. After every challenge in our life always comes a period of great abundance and beauty and power, and we just realize so much more wisdom within ourselves. We realize, why was I being so silly and pushing against things? Everything was always happening for me. So don't worry. Everything really is going according to plan, and you're doing a great job. Just enjoy it more. Just open yourself up more. Receive the lesson. That's how you allow the next one to start. Now, just in case you're interested, I want to tell you before this sale ends, there's 30% off all my courses, all the recordings of my live events, just for a limited time. So at checkout, if you put in the code SUMMERTIME in all caps, and the link is in the description to access these and see what's available, then you can get 30% off. So I just wanted to make sure you knew in case you were someone interested in that. Now, much love to you, and I cannot wait to see you in the next Vibes and Frequencies video. Thanks. See you soon.